Hello, with me in the studio is Andrew Garard, Group Legal Director and Company Secretary of ITV. Andrew has very kindly agreed to chair the Legal Week Corporate Counsel Forum this September, and we're here to discuss some of the themes that are going to arise at the conference. Thanks for coming, Andrew.
Pleasure.
Can we start by just asking what it's currently like for General Counsel at the coalface?
I think it's something that's universally acknowledged that it's never been tougher. So we see the regulatory burden on companies in the UK increasing in almost every way, shape and form. And obviously companies are loath to spend money in case another global downturn happens. So putting money away for a rainy day. So I think the net result is that, in my experience, legal departments in the UK and internationally are expected to do more for less money.
One of the things that struck me is that there currently aren't a huge amount of mergers going on, so there's a lot of almost stability in that sense. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's studies that show that UK corporates are sitting on their cash piles and also using it to pay down pension liabilities. But what they're not doing really is spending on acquisitions because, again, it's the fear of the downturn, and the buffer of having some cash in the bank could be the factor that influences success or failure. So
you've got quite a few GCs who have been in the same role for quite a long time, and quite a few legal teams that's not so fluid as well. So that.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting. I've talked to a few of the search consultants recently, and historically they reckon that the average tenure for a general counsel in a FTSE 100 company would be 10 years. So their rough approximate calculation would equate to 10 general counsel every year moving to another position. And certainly since the downturn which began in 2008, there's only been 2 or 3 a year.
Right.
So I think that there is some stability, but of course stability on one hand is good, but on the other hand, as a general counsel, you want to make sure that your teams feel like that they are moving forward rather than stagnating. So that presents another challenge of how do you redefine what your team does and how it does it to keep it interesting.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the topics at the conference as well.
It
does provide opportunities as well, the current environment, doesn't it, for GC? They've got a bit of stability, but they do have the opportunity to sort of demonstrate value maybe more than they used to, do you think?
No, I'd agree with that. I think the role of the General Counsel in the UK is evolving. Certainly, CEOs are appreciating that General Counsel not only are there to provide wise counsel, but they're also there to project manage issues, provide a sounding board on a whole range of issues. And again, because of the need to conserve cash and make sure that budgets are tight, of course the opportunities that are presented are to try your hand at different things.
Yeah. Well, and you've when you first went into the role, you were quite vociferous about this alternative billing.
Yes.
It's quite a long time ago. How do you think the sort of private practice law firms have been adapting to this environment? We've got maybe a lot more use of alternative billing. We've also got outsourcing and various different models emerging. Is that interesting? Opportunities for GCs?
Well, again, companies want to spend money on themselves rather than on external suppliers. So I think gone are the days when law firms wouldn't have to produce a 5-year plan and think that the revenue is just going to come through the door, because it always has done. I think there's a wide acknowledgement that those days are gone. And alternative fee arrangements, I mean, I'd hate to think I'm less vociferous on the subject than I had been 5 years ago. Yeah. But the reality is it produces efficiencies in law firms' operating models and forces them to examine their own cost base. And you can see that there are a number of firms who are looking to the future by having their operations in lower cost centres. So, for example, Allen Overy opening up in Northern Ireland, Ashursts with their Scottish operation, a number of firms looking to, again, offload what may be considered routine legal work. And that's mirroring what's gone on in the in-house profession as well. So there are companies now who are looking to set up legal teams in low-cost jurisdictions where the quality of the work will be very high, but the unit cost is very low.
And this is themes that will be discussed at the conference along those lines, I'm sure.
Yes.
Looking at the conference itself, we've got a packed programme, lots of Great speakers. Any particular sessions that you're looking forward to?
Having looked at the conference programme, I think there really is a huge range of topics that are going to be discussed. And I'd like to think there is something there for pretty much everyone that will pique their interest. So not wanting to downgrade any other sessions of the conference, I think the session with Catherine Dixon of the NHS Litigation Authority should be fascinating. So very much looking forward to discussing...
You're going to be interviewing her, I think, is it?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to that. Obviously the NHS, one of the highest profile organisations in the world, and of course reflected in the fact that it formed, the celebration of it formed part of the Olympics opening ceremony. So really looking forward to talking with her, but also sessions to do with how you actually manage the team and keep it moving. And then looking at actually how the business model can expand and opportunities and threats that new media demonstrates for companies.
Yeah, because we've got sessions on different parts of the world, and then you've got the fact that you've got social media makes the world smaller. And I think when we were chatting before, you were talking about how you do a lot of stuff in Asia. So you'll be interested in that, and the social media side of things as well is very important to you.
Well, companies are having to move beyond their traditional markets. Much as law firms have moved beyond their traditional markets as well. And diversity of revenue streams and new opportunities are of course what we're all about. But for ITV in particular, obviously the wealth of new platforms, tablets, mobile phones, laptops, games consoles now where you can get television on demand, provide potentially new revenue streams for us. And certainly it's a way of showcasing our products. But it's also a threat because the world expects things to be free. And so that's led to a proliferation of pirates and piracy sites. And one of the things that we found is that it is having a real effect on us exporting our product, our finished programs, because broadcasters are saying, well, why would I want to pay that when my population can actually look on the internet and see it for free?
And that's one of the issues that we'll be looking at. There's also one of the last sessions, I think, is on about developing your legal department, keeping people motivated. We touched on that at the start, and I know you've got various sort of things that you do at ITV to do that, involving getting your lawyers to work with law firms.
Yeah, we've run a number of projects with our panel firm, ranging from a peer partnership program where lawyers within ITV buddy up with lawyers in a law firm, look at how the relationship could be improved. For us, it gives us access to technical expertise and the ability to talk about issues as they arise. For the law firm, it gives them exposure to a corporate commercial client. And at the end of the programme, the participants present to myself and the managing partner of the law firm ways that they believe that the delivery of service, not only from the law firm to us, but also the way we provide a service to ITV can be improved.
That's good.
And we've launched a joint pro bono initiative with one of our firms, which provides advice and counselling to people who really need it. And so far, we reckon we've delivered about £500,000 worth of pro bono advice through that. And we've just established another scheme giving people from less privileged backgrounds access to working in a city law firm and then coming in to be part of our legal team for a week during the summer.
So lots of collaboration with the law firms.
Yeah, very much so. And that's, we view our external advisors as an extension of the in-house team. Because certainly from where I sit and where the board view me, I'm only as strong as my weakest link.
Of course, at the conference, one of the things you can do is exchange your experience with other GCs. Looking at your own tenure at ITV, can you tell us a little bit about the transformation plan? It's a very high-profile transformation plan and successful plan that ITV's been going through, and how you've been involved in that and what opportunities that's presented to you.
Sure. I joined ITV at the end of 2007. Actually as part of Michael Grade's new management team to turn around ITV. Then obviously with the collapse of Lehman Brothers and the run on the banks here, the bottom fell out of the advertising market. So that turnaround plan rapidly became a survival plan. So roll forward to 2010, new chief executive, new chairman at ITV. And of course, with a new chief executive and a new chairman comes what's needed is a new strategy. Mm-hmm. So the turnaround, the transformation plan was launched in 2010. And it's all about essentially making sure that our free-to-air advertising business in the UK is run as tightly as possible, delivering great entertainment, but at a price that is sustainable going forwards. And then developing new revenue streams so that we don't become a cyclical stock. And every time there is a slight downturn in advertising, the share price plunges. Mm-hmm. The transformation plan has meant that we have restructured parts of ITV. We've looked at ways that we actually do make money, and we stopped doing things that frankly don't add any value to shareholders, which has led us to acquire companies in the production space. And I've been shuttling backwards and forwards to the United States for most of this year, working on that. And in addition, we've streamlined the management team. So the top 100 managers within ITV, 66% of them are new since 2010. So it really has been a shakeout. Mm. But for me, what it has meant is that it's produced opportunities. It's enabled me to get involved in things that perhaps in a more normal operating environment I wouldn't have done. So I've now got responsibility for business continuity planning, risk management, health and safety on programs, obviously a topical and high profile issue, together with our insurance portfolio. And indeed, I actually have joint responsibility for a revenue stream at ITV as well. So the transformation plan, we've seen the success of it in the rise in our share price. Hopefully we've delivered on screen with what viewers want, because if we do that, that's what advertisers want. And in addition, we have seen our profits go up as well.
So we talked at the start about opportunities that can present themselves to general counsel in this current environment. You've got a great personal story there, it would seem, from this.
I think I'm lucky that I work with a very able team at ITV, both within my legal and business affairs department, but more broadly across the management as well. So actually everyone is entitled to have a view, and everyone is entitled to say what they think. And of course, in an open and receptive environment, that does breed opportunities. And
there's nothing like being in a place which has got challenges but also opportunities, because you can make a difference, I suppose.
You can make a difference, and you can also demonstrate the value that actually lawyers can bring to a business, not there to be the sales prevention department, not there to paper the deal, but actually there to be part of constructing the deal and making sure that it's executed properly.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
Pleasure.
And thank you for watching. The Legal Week Corporate Counsel Forum is from the 23rd to 24th of September at the London Sire Park Hotel. Hope to see you there.